Hello, welcome back to The Reading Mama. My name is Heather, and today I have the rest of my May TBR. If you saw my previous video, you saw my library haul right there, which is about 25 books. I'm not actually planning on reading all of those in May. Some of them are for school. I'm going to read a portion of them and then decide whether or not to continue. But yeah, I have 25 books from the library right there in a stack that I need to read or give back. And so that's top priority, but I also have all of my reading challenges. Now, so you would say, why don't you use those for your reading challenges? Because I'm difficult. So I'm gonna share what my reading challenges are and what books are on my physical TBR or my Libby app that I'm using to supplement and go through these. So first off, I have Chantel Reads All Day, her 2 challenges. So she has Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, which says a place in the title. And I actually have 2 books and are part of different series that I desperately need to get that both have a place in the title. So Sea of Sorrows in Abigail Brier's Christian indie author, The Kingdom Come series. Book 1 was Rush of Ravens, and I was it took me about halfway through to get into it, but it was very much, it's a fantasy. It's an epic fantasy, and you follow the story of an interesting kingdom where there is light magic and dark magic, and the light magic can be taken from the people, I forget what they're called, I don't know, and used in dark ways. Anyways, this is book 1.5, so I have to read this before I can read the sequel, which I desperately want to do because, you know, into the cliffhanger, and you know me, I'm a series binger. I think this is going to be an 8-book series though, so like not a huge rush here, but I do want to continue with this one. And then also I have Woods of Silver and Light, which is Victoria McCombs' second book in the Storyteller's Daughters series. I'm trying to read all of Victoria McCombs. I want to read her to zero. So I went back to beginning and started with her series, and I really enjoyed The Storyteller's Daughter, which was a Rumpelstiltskin's retelling. And then this is continues the story with her sister, the main character's sister. And it's a Robin Hood retelling. So I'm excited to read that as well. And I'll tell you how this is going to play in later as well with another thing I'm doing. Then I have Chantel's Indie Book Club Challenge. And where is that book? Here it is. She is reading like book 3 in a series by Shatona Havok, and I've not read any of the series. I've not actually read any of Shatona's. I didn't know she was an author. I've watched her on YouTube for several months now, and I did not know she was an author. I don't know, I missed it somehow. But anyways, so I found this at my library, which is one of her first Aggie series books, which is not part of the Indie Book Club Challenge, but same author, so I'm gonna count it. And so I'm gonna read this. I don't really know anything about it. I think it might be a romance. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It says something with kids. I like kids. Yeah, so I have no clue what's going on with this book, but I'm looking forward to it. Should we read the first sentence? Maybe we should. Oh my goodness. This has a literal library card in it, so that's interesting. All right, chapter 1. Ooh, it's like dated. I don't know. Maybe this is, I don't know. Anyways, it says Thursday, February 28th. Aggie Milliken collapsed onto the disheveled bed, her energy sapped. I don't know. Sounds relatable though. Then I'm doing Alma's Journey Through Time series, which is a historical fiction series reading challenge, and I'm loving it. I love historical fiction, and it helps me not stay in fantasy world too long. Her prompt for May is, what is it? Something in Latin America. So I'm going to read this. I really am. This is the month. I'm doing it, okay? Hold me to it. Feet to the fire. This is by Scott ODell, middle grade historical fiction about conquistadors looking for Cibola, which is the city of gold. So it's a pre-read for school. It needs to be done. I gotta do it. I'm also hoping, because Alma talked about it and then Jane talked about it, and I've already been reading a couple of Mario Escobar books this year and love them. So they're reading Remember Me by Mario Escobar. So you know me, I immediately went and put it on my Libby app, and it was available today. So I will start that in May and read that. That also takes place in Latin America. I don't know anything else. I know it's a translation because he's Spanish. It had something to do with children, and it's set historical fiction, and it's set in Latin America. That's what I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to continue my Warbreaker journey with Sanderson. I cannot describe this. I sound like an insane person when I describe a Sanderson novel. So let's just say there is color magic. There are people who have returned from the dead and now claim to be gods. There is a princess forced into marriage named Siri, like, you know, the technology app. and her sister has come to rescue her. And somewhere along the lines, there is like a sentient sword. I don't know what's going on. Craziness, but I'm enjoying it. I need time without interruptions to do it. And I'll get it. I will. And then I have my mother's education, which is something that is ongoing. I have a whole video about it. I have like 8 different subjects, and I have a book in every category, so to speak, usually nonfiction, that I'm trying to read to improve myself, continue my education. And so I am continuing Secret World of Weather. I just need to pick it up again. I really love it. Tristan Gooley is a phenomenal author because he makes it very approachable, even though you're dealing with major science themes. And he is really funny and witty, so it's enjoyable. I know, it's been in every video, but I am reading it. I finished the acknowledgements. So I started. I got the post-its ready. It's happening. I'm gonna make it happen. And so that is going on for my mother's education. Classics, I am continuing Count to Monte Cristo. I'm planning not to finish this until Big Book Summer, so I can count it because holy cow, that's a big book. There are over 1,200 pages, and I am 387 pages in. So my goal this month is to get somewhere around 600 something. So then I'm about halfway before I go into summer. That's my goal. And so that is my classic. I'm also going to read The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot. I know nothing else about it. It's classics and it's written by George Eliot, and she's a woman, not a man. I don't know anything else about it, but I am attempting to read that, and I have that already keyed up on audiobook as well. For my King Arthur journey, because I am trying to read through King Arthur books just because I like King Arthur. And so I have almost finished Morte d'Arthur, which is the very first English translation of King Arthur by Sir Thomas Mallory. And it's really not that hard to read. It's different. It's not phenomenal, okay? It's broken up into 2 volumes. I'm almost finished with volume 1. Should finish it before the end of the month. Possibly, if not, I'll finish it at the very beginning of May. And then I'll be reading the Morpurgo, which I share about in my library haul, which is another King Arthur. And then I'll be continuing on. I was going to read them in publication order, but I can only take so much of really classic ancient literature. And I don't know that the Age of Chivalry, it's Bullfinch, and I don't know that I can do that next. I think I'm going to have to read the Morpurgo and then maybe do a Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, because I just got that in the mail. And then go back and do Bullfinch, because I really don't think I can handle that kind of classic literature writing right back to back. So then for my challenge, I have perfect pairs. And remember, I have 2 options. You could do a fiction, nonfiction in the same category, or you could do like middle grade adult or middle grade YA or YA adult, whatever, a younger kid, a younger version and an adult version. And so for those, I am listening to something called Lives of Kings and Queens. And I'll pop a picture up here, and I'm enjoying it, but it's going really fast through all the kings and queens of England, and I need a roadmap. I was not the kid who even memorized the presidents of the United States, so I'm struggling with all the kings and queens, but I'm having a lot of memory because we did the, what's her name? Our Island story, which is part of Ambleside Online's curriculum. We did that in years past, and this Lives of Kings and Queens is like a grown-up version of it. And it's going through very fast, and so I'm remembering some of those things. And so that is one of my nonfiction books. Also, another nonfiction book I'm reading is going to be a biography about Queen Eleanor. I'm actually probably going to read an adult and a kid's version of those. And those are pre-reads for school. They're coming in the mail, so I don't have pretty pictures here. Queen Eleanor of Aquitane is who I'm reading. And then I'm reading in Agatha Christie for my mystery thriller section. Because it's been months since I read Agatha Christie and I'm missing her. So I got a Hercule Poirot from the library, and I talk about it in that video. And then I got a Miss Marple, but I'm afraid I won't like Miss Marple, so I picked up a Hercule Poirot as well because I love Poirot. I don't know if I'm gonna love Miss Marple. We'll see. So that's what's going on in my perfect pairs. Then I'm continuing my George MacDonald, my author of the year. And so I'm gonna read The Light Princess, which is a reread, and it's like, she's like, oh there, that picture just kind of shows, she floats away, because when I first got it and read it, I thought it was gonna be light, beautiful and kind, and no, she literally is light, she floats away. And so this is an interesting, strange story, very much like The Golden Key. I'm gonna reread this. It should be a quick reread. I'm gonna try to read it with one of my kids, and then I'll move on to some of his other works. I'm trying to finish some of his children's works first, so I'll probably do Princess and Goblin next, but for now, this is what I'm focusing on. Then in my fairy tale retelling, I'm trying to do one fairy tale retelling a month and work through Melanie Dickerson's Hagenheim series. And the next one is Fairest Beauty, which I'm assuming is Snow White. I don't really know anything else about it. I have it on audiobook. Some of the audiobooks from Melanie Dickerson are amazing. Some are not so much. I generally love Melanie Dickerson's retellings overall, but there are concepts that are a little too sweet and sanguine, and I don't know. They're okay. So anyways, but I'm enjoying reading through it. They're like a series that are connected, but not. If that makes sense. Like they're all standalones, but they're slightly connected in different ways. So yeah. And then I'm going to continue my journey down Tessa Afshar and biblical retellings in general with The Peasant King. So this is a sequel to The Hidden Prince, which was phenomenal and has an amazing, amazing audiobook. But in that one, you follow a scribe who, yeah, a lot of things happen. Anyways, this is following her daughter, I believe, is what's going on. So yes. And their mother is kidnapped? No, she is, well, I don't know. I guess I don't know what's going on. It's with that family. I think it's her children. It's a beautiful cover, and it's Tessa Afshar, so I know I love it. So I'm excited to read that one. And that brings me to the end. I do have this also on my list of things to continue because I started book 1 again this month. I'm almost done with it. I love this, and it's a reread for me, but I'm gonna mark it up now that I have a physical copy in my hand because there's so much beauty in this book. I absolutely loved it. Also, I have a challenge which came out a couple days ago that I'm going to be reading all summer. I'm working through the Calculated series by Nova McBee, which I read a few years ago and absolutely loved and was heartbroken to know it was an incomplete series. But book 4 is coming out this summer on June 30th, and I cannot wait. So to prepare for that, I'm reading through the series again, and if you'd like to join me, you can go over and get the graphics on that post. But in May, we're reading Calculated, and then we'll continue a book a month through the summer. And then I am doing one other, where did I put it? One other challenge. It's a hike-a-thon, and who is it by? I have to look this up. It's by Macy, Bright Side Girl. So she's doing the hike-a-thon, and I printed this out because I don't want to put the graphic up here. But the hike-a-thon, and she has like a hiking option or a camping option, and I'm going to do the hiking option, which are these little things. And so she has Set in the Forest, which using the books I already have picked out for the month. Woods of Silver and Light, that's a forest. Foresty, it's Robin Hood, of course it's forest. It says wildlife on the cover. Wildlife on the cover. I'm gonna continue my Tales Before Narnia, and I may or may not finish it, but these are like stories that inspired C.S. Lewis, and I'm loving that, so I'm gonna continue that. It says a trail on the cover. We're gonna say this is a trail. I don't know exactly, but she's got her arrows. She looks like she's outside. It looks like she's on a trail. We're calling it a trail. And then there was a book with a map, which, The King's Fifth has a map on it. And then it says a book that has a hike, which, Hunt of Calypso. I don't know that you could really count it hiking, but they have a couple of times where they have to go a couple places. They're hunting, okay? I don't want to tell you anymore, but yeah. They go a little hiking. And then I have one that says Lost in the Woods. I don't know. I'm sure one of these books has somebody lost in the woods somewhere at some point, or one of those books over there. And so we'll fill that one in at the time comes. And then she has little activities. So read outside, visit a little free library, and go on a hike. Those are things I do every week anyway, because she said going on a walk counts as going on a hike. So literally we do this every week. So that is what I'll be doing for a hike-a-thon, and that is my only challenge besides my Calculated series that I will be doing this month. So that is what's going on in May for me. If you want to see my library haul, it has some of those books. It doesn't have all of them, and there are more at the library, and please don't even ask about how many books are on the I think it's 8 to 10. It's insane. So hopefully it's a really good reading month for me. Let me know what you're reading this month. What readathons, reading challenges are you doing? What book are you most excited to read in May? And thank you as always for watching, and have a blessed day.